Good morning. Big news. I got a Triaxis. And it's awesome. And to celebrate, I wrote a brand new intro song. I'm going to do a couple videos about it. This is the first video. I'm Alex Grimm. Welcome to my new internet video intro. Yeah. Alright, so for this video, I am going to break down the song, talk about how to play it, how it kind of fits together compositionally, and also how I used my Triaxis to get awesome guitar sounds, because it's awesome and that's cool. So let's start with the Triaxis and go from there. Alrighty, so for this part I'm going to be bouncing between my camera audio and the audio out of the DAW. So sometimes the guitar sound might change a little bit, but that's just to kind of keep it good. Onto the Triaxis. This thing is a beast, but it's a little bit of a finicky monster. It seems more than any other amp I've used to really matter what guitar you've got going into it. I'll dial in a sound for this guitar, which is probably my favorite guitar. It's an older RGT 42DX FX 69 420 Blaze It edition, as you can see. It's got the stock INF 1 and 2 pickups, which I actually like quite a bit. Every now and then I think about replacing them, just to get something maybe even a little bit more note clarity and a little bit more harmonics. I'd like that. Any ideas? Let me know. I also, shout out to myself, did a video a while ago comparing these pickups to the Deactivator X pickups that are in my Ibanez Destroyer. And if you're interested in that, you can also click on that video and watch it and, I don't know, be amazed or something. But on to the Triaxis, which I've stupidly framed so you can't see. Maybe I can fix that. Onto the Triaxis, which I've cleverly framed so you can kind of see. I've come up with, so far, I've only had it for a couple days, I've come up with two sounds I really like for like a main crunch sound. So the first sound, which I've put on preset 12 for myself, is just going after my old ampy, my baby, my Series 1 Recto Verb that's like almost as old as I am. I got it when I was in high school, and it's the best. It's a 50 watt single rectifier combo with reverb, 2-channel, 1 speaker. It's absolute sick amp. And so I kind of dialed in this to kind of sound like that. Run the guitar through a tuner pedal on the floor, straight into the Triaxis, no other effects, and then I'm running the Triaxis out into the firepod, which is right next to it, and then in Reaper I'm using 2 notes wall of sound to get impulse responses, and I've dialed in a rectifier cab. So let's see, this is what preset 12 sounds like. So it's a little noisy next to the computer because there's a lot of gain on it, but I really like just how thick and chunky and smooth it sounds. Yeah, it sounds good. And so that is lead 1, the red channel, and this is, I spent a lot of time making sure I got the right one. This is a series version 2 Triaxis without the fat mod, which means lead 1 red channel is super gnarly and super aggressive, and that's where you get that kind of that super like high end that is awesome. So then the other sound I've designed to kind of go with that, more on that later, is preset 11 for myself, and that is lead 2 yellow channel, which for those of you in the know is the Mark II C+ channel, and I've gone for more of like a sort of a dialed back John Petrucci sound, so a little less gain, a little bit more mid, but kind of that same ballpark of just thick. It's a little less aggro than the lead 1 sound. It's probably a little bit more articulate. It's not quite as just, tear your face off metal, but it's really, you can hear more of the notes and the chords, which is good because cool chords are cool. It has a lot of punch to it, and the two sounds blend really well. This is something I've kind of had in my head for a long time now, wanting to do, and I really couldn't be happier with how it sounds. And you heard in the song what's going on there sound wise. So let's talk about playing the song for a second. I'm just going to leave it on preset 11 here because I think it's a little easier to hear all the little fiddly bits. And let me look at my script briefly. So yeah, I did 4 guitar tracks across the stereo, so kind of like 275 and 100%, bass down the middle, drums, kind of default easy drummer mix, which is pretty normal drum setup. So it's 2 guitar parts, and each part I tracked with the preset 11 and preset 12. So it's 4 performances, and just for shits and giggles, for fun, this is what it sounds like with only the preset 11 guitars. And then this is what the preset 12 guitars sound like, the recto sound. And then all together. You might notice I did a little cutout, a hard cut, and then a fade in on the recto sound, which is the sound that panned hard left and right. And I did that for 2 reasons. One, sort of in a previous iteration of the sound, I had a little too much bass on it, so when I hit that, like a woofy, it was just a little bit too much, so that helped the bass management. But then the other thing I found out was I really liked the way it gave the other guitar a little more space, and then it swelled back in, and just I liked the way that treated the energy of the tune. And so when I re-recorded it with a sort of improved sound, I left that kind of cut and fade in there because I thought it served the tune well. I put an Imgur link to the Guitar Pro score of the tune below because I made a JPEG of the PDF because I didn't know what else to do, and Imgur's free. So if you're interested, you can look at that. It's like page, basically. It's not very long, so you can follow along while I teach you how to play it. Guitar 1 starts out with a couple double stops. So we're playing the open. I'm tuned down a step. I want to call it the E, even though it's a D, but it's hard for me to think in 2 different tunings at once. So E, yeah, that's an E, sure. So you're going to start with a D on the A string, and then a C on the A string, and then up to a G on the A string. So you're going to go straight, and then quarter note triplet on that guy. So you're getting you're getting a minor 7, minor 6 / an inverted C major, and then an E minor. The other guitar is doing octaves It's coming from a D to a C, and then it's doing a G major 7 on the triplet there. So that guitar hits a big E power chord, and the other guitar plays this kind of weird voiced E minor 9. So this is an inverted E minor 7, and you're adding a F sharp kind of towards the bass, so that's your 9 in the wrong place, and then you got the low E to give it the low end there, and then the other guitar is playing an E and the bass is playing an E, so that gives you an E minor 9. So the song so far on that guitar is, and then that guitar goes on. It's there's an extra 2 beats in here, so you get basically a bar of either 6 or 2, depending on how you want to subdivide it to sort of make it make sense to you. But you've got more quarter note triplets going. So that's at E. It hits the E minor 9, then hits it again. Then it's hitting a D major, it's just a D major, D and F sharp and A, and then the F sharp and the bass. So it's kind of like doing like that D major with your thumb. It's doing that up here. You're not hitting the high E string anymore because that adds a note we don't want. So and then you're coming down to the C major sharp 11. Which is a cool chord. Check it out someday. Yeah, so that part is again. And then the other guitar, so wherever we hit that low E, then it's just a G major bar chord. And then a D major add 9 or whatever. It's like a D major bar chord, and you stretch out to add the 9th in there, hence add 9. You're playing all 6 strings. And that last chord is it's just another, it's a C major with a 9 in it. So it's C, so 1, 3, and then 9 is D up here. So there's a little bit of stretch. And that just goes with this chord. And then in the bass is sort of following the G, the D, and the C chords. It's that's basically what's going on there. So what you get when you put all that together is an E minor 9, and then with that plus that, so it's a big G major 7 with a 13 up top. So that's pretty rad. And then you get a big, nice, thick D major 9, which is cool. And you end on that C with the sharp 11. So that's that part. So the song so far is... That's the left side guitar. The right side guitar is doing... Cool. So then the last little bit, the left side guitar kind of walks up from an E to a G and then just stacks some G major dyads on top of itself. So right, so da to the G, and then you D, G, B, and then you end up with this C sharp note, which is an altered 11, so it's instead of a regular 11, it's a sharp 11, so you get that really tense sound. And then it resolves on this quartal thing, so it's instead of a chord being based on thirds, it's being based on fourths, and it's basically just E's and B's stacked on each other. It's almost like a power chord, but you have an A in there, so you get like a 7th. There's no third, so it's kind of suspended. So it kind of comes down to a place we expect, but not in a way we expect. So then the other guitar, while that's happening, the bass is holding out a G that whole time, including with the sharp 11, so it's a lot of tension. The other guitar is just sort of doing a little descending thing around the G chord, and then just runs up the scale to that same sharp 11. So it does this. After that little run, that guitar plays the same chord, but with just in a higher octave. So you've got a B, E, a and a D actually, so you get a little bit of a ninth in there too. And that's the song. The bass is just playing a low E to kind of keep it grounded. Just run through it real quick again. So left guitar. So then right guitar. And that's it.